is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is brand new stuff from a band many of you have not heard of yet. The band is Weapons of Anew. Their new album is called The Collision of Love and Hate. That song was The Kill Shot. And here to deliver the spoken word kill shot, I guess, is the guitarist of Weapons of Anew. It is Freddy Ordine. Freddy, how are you, man?
Good, bro. How are you?
Excellent, dude. Well, man, for people that have not been following along, you've created a new band, Weapons of Anew. It comes with a lot of seasoned parts, man, whether it's your former band, Havokhate, or Ray, your singer's former bands with Spread Eagle and his solo stuff, or your guitarist that was in Darkest Hour and God Forbid and quite a few other bands. So maybe that's a good place to start, man. Maybe talk about how this band came together and how you crafted it into a style that really doesn't fit any of the parts that I just named.
Dude, when we started, it was me and Chris, the drummer. Chris had asked me to kind of fill in with him in a band he was working on. I hadn't played in years. Like, I quit 10 years ago, stopped touring and everything. I was just done.
Okay.
And Chris reached out to me through a mutual friend, and he was like, "Hey, you want to jam?" So I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Screw it, I'll give it a shot." And once I played with Chris, that was it. I was lit. I wanted to do this again. And that band really wasn't where it needed to be. So it kind of fell apart. Chris came with me. I called Reno, who stepped in Havokhate when Greggy went back to Testament. So I known Reno forever. And we just started writing. I really didn't have any predetermined thing of what I wanted it to sound like. I just, I wanted it to still kind of have a heavy edge to it, but I definitely wanted melody in it. So we searched all over the place for singers. And people kept saying, "You got to talk to Ray West. You got to talk to Ray West." And I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
And then somebody said, Spread Eagle. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if we really want to go that direction. And,
right.
Me and Ray, we spent like 2.5, 3 hours on the phone one night, and we completely clicked, man. He was so on point, so in tune to what I kind of, with the melody and the psychoticness and how he could pull his voice, from screaming like a nut job to really singing gorgeous melodies.
Sure.
So once we got in the room, man, Kill Shot came out of us within, I'd say probably like 2 hours. That song was done. Wow. That was the first time we would rehearse together. That's the first time we'd ever all played together in the same room. And that was it.
Very cool.
And then with Norris I met through James Murphy. We were looking for another guitar player. We were just kind of keeping our eyes open just to see if we could find the right guy. And James was like, "Dude, you got to check out Chris Norris."
Okay.
And I knew who he was. I knew, Darkest Hour. So he flew up from Florida. We hung out, we played, and same thing. It was just a perfect fit, personality-wise, what he's been through, the experience he has, and just him as a person. It was just a perfect fit, man.
Sure.
I feel like I'm playing with Chris, 20 years.
Sure. Now, the one thing that is interesting, especially when you bring up yours and Reno's past as well as Chris, is people would probably expect some much heavier band than what you guys are doing. And that's not to say that you're playing ballads. You're definitely not, but it's not closing in on death metal either, as you guys all did in the past. Was it difficult for you guys, especially since you all have that heritage, to not lead the songs into a heavier and heavier direction?
Did you see parts which sneak through? I call Brave, which is on the new record. I called out my ode to Havokhate. Okay. It's kind of got that same kind of vibe. I was starting to go this direction when I was writing the Cycle record, and we were actually working on the third Hate record. It was kind of going in this more direction. I wanted to hear more melody. I wanted a little bit more hook in it. So I think it was just an evolution. I didn't really go into it saying I knew I didn't want it to sound like my old band.
Right.
But it was cool if it had elements of it. Dude, I'm a metalhead. I'm always going to be a metalhead. So I think it's like fingerprints. You can't really change them. You're going to get little pieces of it coming through. And I think just Ray is really the big part of, making this band stand apart and sound so much different.
Sure. And that's the thing, too, Freddie. It does have such a cool vibe to it that if people get away from the labels, which I'm sure they're going to do. Anybody that remembers Spread Eagle is going to think that it's a Skid Row knockoff band. Anybody that remembers Havokhate is going to think that it's Overkill. And the reality is it's none of that. What it is it's a very relatable to active rock band without sounding cheesy Nickelback shitty kind of rock band, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is...
that's me and Ray say it all the time. You know, we made a really pretty baby with a big attitude. So.
Sure, man. Well, dude, talk a little bit about the audience that you're looking to reach for this, because like I said, it does play to metalheads, and it does play to people that are more active rock radio type of fans. You know, who do you think are going to embrace it the most?
You know, I don't really know. I mean, we get a really decent mix. I mean, we get metalheads that dig it. We get, you know, radio people that dig it. We get people that listen to Nickelback that dig it. You know, it's really, we don't, you know, if you like the music, man, shit, we're happy to have you around us, you know, kind of thing. To us, it's, I guess because, you know, we've gotten to Europe a couple of times. Chris has gotten to Europe. It's more like that kind of thing. You know, they don't really segregate it and label it so much over there. It's like if you're into rock music or metal music, it's all like one big thing there.
Right.
And that's why the festival was so awesome. So it was kind of like that kind of thing. You know, that's kind of how we looked at it. It was like, dude, we want metalheads. We want commercialness. We just want people to have fun when they come see us.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things, you guys certainly did not start off small. I mean, you guys immediately from day one, you guys are playing gigs in front of Alter Bridge. Talk about that. Was that at all intimidating to be playing first shows in front of, you know, 5, 6, 10,000 people, however many people Alter Bridge draws? I know they draw a big crowd. I've seen them. Yeah. So was that intimidating?
It was a couple thousand. No, I mean, we were good. I mean, me and Ray have done this so much. Reno had done it so much at that time. Chris, it was awesome for the drummer. I remember just looking back at him while he was playing. He looked like a big kid.
Sure.
Huge-ass smile on his face, and just, you know, in the time of his life. I remember looking at Ray right before he went on. I'm like, you good, bro? And he's like, yeah, we got this. I said, right on, let's do it. And that was it, man. We never got the nerves. We just went out and did what we do.
Sure. Now it
made me realize how much I miss doing it.
Right. Certainly, man. Now, I know those guys a little bit, and they are certainly a machine when it comes to the way they conduct their business on tour. Did you take any kind of lessons from them, or not lessons, I guess, because you're not exactly a rookie yourself? But I mean, do you learn anything about touring in 2017 from going out with a band that is so skilled?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's changed so much in the past 10 years. Just, you know, just the way things go, the way the clubs are, the way it's really changed a lot. You know, the way security is, you know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, you didn't have, like, the security that you have now.
Right.
So, yeah, we definitely learned a lot. I mean, those guys are definitely a well-oiled machine in how they run their business and how well their crew is and, you know, how well that show goes off every night without a flaw.
Right.
So, I mean, you always try to pull stuff from, you know, bands that have been doing it. And you just kind of watch and learn, you know, ask a couple of questions as the opportunity's there. You know, you don't want to be like the pesky guy, like, hey, man, you know, how do you do this and this, you know?
Right.
If the conversation comes up, you feed into it. But most of the time, man, I kind of just sit back and just watch and see how their business works.
Right. Certainly,
and
man.
Just try to incorporate it in us.
Sure. Now, dude, one of the cooler things that Weapons of Anew as a band is now releasing, but you guys, I guess, had the foresight for the last year or so to do, is the video series that you guys are releasing on YouTube. It's released every week. There's a new segment, and it's a really cool introduction to the band for people that really don't know anything about the band yet. So talk a little bit about the video series and you know, specifically what made you guys think of it far enough in advance to do it, and also, was it uncomfortable to be talking about yourselves as you're developing a record?
Yeah, it was definitely hard. That was all our managers doing. I mean, from the day we first said, you know, when I called him and I said, Mike, you know, I think I want to get back into doing records again. And he was 1,000,000% behind it, but he's like, Freddie, film everything.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I hate cameras and all that shit. He's like, I don't care. You should get used to it and just do it. So from the beginning, I mean, we have GoPro video from when we first all got in the room up until, you know, last night at rehearsal. So Michael had kind of always pushed on it that we were going to do this. It just took us a while to find the guy to actually edit it. And we found this guy, John. He's amazing at it. He gets the band. He connected with us. He's a pisser. So, I mean, he comes right in and hangs out with us, and then, you know, he pulls through things, and we have no idea what he's doing. And then we see these cool-ass videos. So once Michael was able to show us the first one, we were like, wow, yeah, we get it. So now we're 100% behind it, whereas all of us in the beginning, we were like, oh, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You know, I don't know if this is going to do anything. And I'm so grateful that he talked us into doing it.
Sure.
It's a cool thing.
Very much so. And for people that don't know, they can go out to YouTube and just search Weapons of Anew and you'll find it. And it's released every Monday, I believe. There's a new segment between now and like Thanksgiving or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I think it's 11 or 12 parts or something like that. I mean, we're filming already now. So as we've been getting ready for this tour and the record coming out and everything else, we've been handing John off footage, weekly. So I think they're just going to keep going.
Excellent. Very cool, man. Well, dude, let's talk.
So the one
go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead.
The one this week is us on the Alter Bridge tour. You'll actually see me hang Ray's stuffed animal by its neck because he was driving me crazy.
Nice. Cool, man. Well, dude, let's talk a little bit about the record for you personally. The record is The Collision of Love and Hate is what it's called. It's out on OK Good Records now, and you can get it on any of your streaming services, or you could buy it instead of being cheap. Yeah. Talk a little bit about, for you, what was the most difficult thing for you as a guitar player, on this record? Because it was quite different than the stuff that people at least know you for.
I mean, for me, this was just kind of opening up, not being held back by anything, not being like, oh man, I can't do this, it's not heavy enough, or I can't do this, it doesn't make people want to run into each other, like stuff like that. That was probably the hardest thing for me, was to get out of my own head, get out of my own way and just do what I wanted to do, not worry about, how people were going to take to it. This is really pure, coming out of me.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. Now it's interesting though that you decided to bring Chris Norris in pretty much after you had done the record, I believe. What did you feel something was missing that he came in to fill, or did you just want a fatter sound, or what?
Yeah, just for live. I mean, obviously, me and Chris are already writing together. Every time we're in the room and we play guitar together, we're writing. The writing was already done by the time Chris had gotten in. So really, Chris now is here for live, and he's in the band. He's 100% one of us. But yeah, I mean, it was, if we could find the perfect guy, that would be the perfect fit, that him and I could really ebb and flow and bounce off of each other. And Chris is totally that guy. He's a monster player.
Sure.
I like playing with two guitar players live. It gives me more room. It gives the band a fuller sound. I mean, the harmonies we can do, and just, where I'm playing one part and Chris is completely playing off another thing. It's cool. I like it a lot.
Very cool, man. Well, dude, you're getting ready. I believe tonight is night number 1 to play with a band that great band. I find it to be an interesting choice for you guys, because I think you guys are going to be a lot heavier than them, but you're getting ready to do a small run with Tesla. What are your expectations for the crowd and for playing this tour?
Man, I hope it goes great. We're looking to just have a good time, hopefully win over some of their fans. I was a little concerned about it too.
Okay.
And the response we've been getting just through our social medias and stuff, I mean, people seem really, really open to it. It was kind of the same thing when we went out with Alter Bridge. It was like, wow, I think maybe we're a little bit heavier than these guys, and it worked out really well.
Sure.
So I think, as long as people, it's an energy thing for us. As long as the crowd's kind of moving and looking like they're having a good time, we're going to turn it up and just, keep making you have a good time and try to get your body moving and trying to get, a smile on your face and you yelling and, just having a good time. That's what concerts are supposed to be about.
Right. Back in the old days anyway. And
yeah, exactly. So we're trying to bring that kind of vibe back, and people seem to connect with it really well. We're having a blast up there. I mean, the 5 of us, we love each other. We have a great time. We're telling jokes to each other, goofing around, and it seems to be pretty infectious. We'll get it back from the crowd most nights. So we're just hoping for that.
Sure. No doubt, man. So this tour runs for a few weeks, and then what happens next for Weapons? Do you got something else lined up, or nothing announced yet? Or
yeah. Well, we're working on something in the middle of October. I haven't really gotten any details on it. And then I know we're going out with Michael Graves, the old Misfits singer.
Oh,
we're going out with him November 23rd to, I think, November 24th to December 23rd. So we'll be out with him for a month, which should be cool, man. I'm a Misfits fan. I know Mike since he's a kid, so I think it'll be pretty badass to be out with those kids. We'll have a good time.
Absolutely, dude. Well, dude, the new album... go ahead.
And there we go again, a band that's like, completely different. They're like a punk rock band, but I think we'll have a great time.
Yeah, you should. And having seen Graves do both Misfits type stuff and do acoustic stuff, he has a fan base that is not locked into any one style either. So I actually think that that's probably going to be maybe your most successful tour to date, because it's going to be an audience that just doesn't look for one sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So I think it should be cool. So when it got brought up to me, I was like, yeah, that'll be awesome, you know?
No doubt, man. Well, dude, the new album, it's called The Collision of Love and Hate. It is Weapons of Anew. That is Anew, not A-N-E-W, for those that are looking for it. And, Freddie, where can people go online to keep up with you guys and to, interact, and Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff?
Yep, Twitter, I don't even know them. I would assume it's facebook.com, /Weapons of Anew. The Twitter, I have no idea what it is, Chris. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't deal with any of this stuff. I know our website is, www.weaponsofanew.com. You probably know more about it than I do, actually.
Shh, I'm not supposed to tell those secrets.
Yeah, so you can help out here if you like.
Yeah, no, it is. It's weaponsofanew.com, and all the social stuff is on there. So go there and you can find all the social stuff. How's that?
Good answer. Have you done interviews before or something?
I've done a few myself, sir. Awesome. Well, Freddie, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a closing track from the album to maybe give them a taste of what's going on the record, and maybe tell us a quick story about it. So, what'd you like us to wrap this one up with?
Now, let's play one of the heavier ones. Let's play Brave.
Oh.
Like I said, that's my nod to my past. It's it's got a little heaviness to it, but it's definitely got awesome parts by Ray. I love his vocal in this one. It's one of my favorite ones to play. We open with it every night. I'm sure the people at the Tesla show are going to look at us like we're out of our mind opening with this, but I think they'll get the groove of it sooner or later.
Nice. Well, let's check it out right now. This is Weapons of Anew. It is Brave right here on your Classic Metal Show.